Hey friends in beauty, if you're a professional makeup artist or beauty pro who is tired of juggling multiple tools to run your business, I got great news for you. Beauty Pro Funnels is here to simplify your life and take your business to the next level. Unlike other platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or Acuity, Beauty Pro Funnels was created by a makeup artist for makeup artists. This is the world's first all-in-one software that helps you book clients, sell your products, and even launch courses all in one place. No need for separate subscriptions that drain your wallet or tools that don't speak your language as a beauty pro. With Beauty Pro Funnels, you're not just getting another booking tool. You're unlocking the ability to create multiple revenue streams, so whether you're behind the chair or not, you're making money. Imagine accepting bookings, selling your beauty products, and offering courses all without the stress of managing separate systems. That could be a big headache. Let me break it down to you one more time. Your website, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your portfolio, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your booking site, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. And your e-commerce site, host it in Beauty Pro Funnels. Want to offer beauty courses or digital products? You can sell them inside of Beauty Pro Funnels, and you'll be able to send invoices, digital contracts, newsletters, and do all of your marketing directly from your Beauty Pro Funnels account. It's mind-blowing. Listen, you're going to save hundreds of dollars every single month by replacing over 10 platforms when you make the switch to Beauty Pro Funnels like Wix, Squarespace, Acuity, WordPress, Vagaro, Honeybooks, 17 Hats, Dubsado, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Kajabi, DocuSign, even Shopify. It's crazy. I know you got at least one of those. And here's the best part. Tayana and her team spent over a year building plug-and-play templates into your account for pretty much everything, so you never have to start from scratch at all. So all of your appointment confirmations, reminders, and payment reminders and stuff like that for your clients, they have already been written out for you. You can even gather reviews and referrals all on autopilot. You'll free up so many hours of time each week so you can focus on what you love, your artistry. Plus, with their mobile app, you can manage your entire business from the palm of your hand. Send invoices, schedule appointments, and even take payments on the go. I believe in Beauty Pro Funnels so much that I recently moved the Friends of Beauty site to Beauty Pro Funnels, and I am loving it. It's a game changer because it's not just a platform. I swear it is like having your personal business assistant designed specifically for makeup artists and beauty pros like you. So here's the deal. If you want to see what all the hype is about, visit getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends to get a personalized tour and see how Beauty Pro Funnels can transform your business today. That's getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends because you deserve the best tool for your beauty business.
Hey friends in beauty, want to elevate your client experience and boost your income without adding more time to your day? Let me introduce you to Brow Zhuzh Double Duty, an under-eye and brow treatment that targets puffiness, fine lines, and dehydration. It conditions brows and soothes skin after hair removal, making it the perfect add-on while your client is relaxing. Whether you're in the treatment room, salon, with a bride, or on set, Double Duty does exactly what the name says. It's packed with vitamin E, hyaluronic acid, collagen, and caffeine so the skin feels smooth, hydrated, and refreshed in minutes. Pro tip, store it in the fridge for that cooling spa-like effect. Your clients will rave about it. It's available for wholesale or retail at printbeautystudio.com/shop or email hello@printbeautystudio.com to become a pro partner. Let's go ahead and jump into the episode.
Yeah. So if you didn't acquire the company, then they would have went out of business?
Yeah, they were going to be just winding it down. So it was, I feel like I've been able to keep it alive and take the vision further. So it's been great. It's, again, like our returning customer rate is so high, for beauty, I don't know where it is, somewhere in like the 20s, and we're like 49% returning customer rate. Like once people use it, they notice a difference.
It's like staying loyal, like how men stay loyal to their barbers. You got to stay to your skincare. I know a lot of us wish that we could be in a position to acquire like our favorite company, because I'm a makeup artist and we see our share of the brands like that we are loving and we have in our kits, and now we can't buy the products anymore because the brand has gone under, or maybe they discontinue something.
The backstory behind Veriphy is these scientists discovered this super ingredient, which is a vegan form of glycogen, which has never existed before. Most glycogen comes from marine shellfish, and it's a vegan form of glycogen that comes from a non-GMO sweet corn. And why that's so important is that it has insane water retention properties. And so they discovered this ingredient, and these really smart women are like, we need to build a skincare line around this. And so Veriphy was born to help bring this ingredient to the market. We did a big rebrand. Just an elevation. So it's, we updated the logo, the packaging all changed. We got new glass suppliers. So there was just it was almost like a new brand within an existing brand. I feel like, we infuse the products with our energy too, right? So it's like, I just want people to be able to go within and feel confident without, like that. Like inner confidence is outer confidence.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, in today's episode, we had the pleasure of having Lindsay Nahmiache in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. Lindsay is the CEO of Veriphy Skin and founder of the award-winning agency Jive PR Digital. With a background that spans global campaigns, storytelling, and science-backed skincare, she's on a mission to prove that confidence is the new glow. Today, we're diving into how beauty rituals impact our self-perception and our career confidence, what it really takes to grow a standout brand in a crowded market, and how to own your power, whether you're pitching investors or showing up for yourself. So I can't wait to dive into it. Welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Lindsay.
Thank you. So excited to be here with you. It's a great intro.
I'm so excited to meet you because just, in preparation for this conversation, I'm like, Lindsay is involved in a lot of stuff. Like, I don't even know how you keep the energy going, and you've just dominated so many different industries and now skincare. So I'm really excited to meet you and talk to you all about it.
Excellent. I'm glad to be here.
Yay. Well, before we get started, we're going to start off with some icebreakers so we can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do for the brand. So first one, just give us 3 random facts about you.
Well, I'm originally Canadian, now live in the US. I spent 2 years working in Bollywood, India. So that's where I cut my teeth at the beginning of my career. And I am an avid meditator. I spent a month living in a Buddhist monastery in Nepal in silence. And I still to this day meditate every morning. Some days are good, some days are bad, but it's like taking a shower. I always sit down and do it.
Wow, you worked in Bollywood, which is so cool because that is like a whole booming industry in itself. Bollywood. What were you doing in Bollywood?
I worked for a film company and I did their international sales, but I was based there. And I did production for them for a while. I helped them reshoot all the MTV content for an Indian market. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's really cool. And then the meditation. I love meditation as well. That's why earlier when you mentioned the meditation conference, I'm like,
Yeah.
that is super cool.
Good
Like,
gift.
what did you learn about yourself being in silence for, you said a month?
Yeah, it was a month-long program. I mean, it was half day silence. So from the time you woke up until after lunch, everything was silent, and then you could speak in the afternoons. But it was amazing. I mean, the first few days is hard. It's, and then by the end, you feel you just go to a different level. Like it's like opening a different part of the human experience, and you feel so connected, you feel so clean, you feel so peaceful, you feel so positive. And there's hard days and a lot of emotions come out, but for the most part, I think it's for people who feel called to do it, yeah, it was life-changing for me. I was in my early 20s, so I feel like it really set me up in a strong way.
It's definitely piquing an interest right now because I'm like, so when they say silent retreat or silence, does it mean that like you can't even talk like to yourself?
Oh no, I mean you're always talking to yourself. Like your meditation, your mind is going a million miles a minute. And there's other retreats like Vipassana, which is great as well, where it's 10 days in full silence all day. But this was different. This was a Buddhist one done at the Kopan Monastery, and so it was just yeah, just half days. But there's also teachings and lectures that you were getting, so you were sometimes listening to some of the monks speak, but you yourself just weren't speaking. And then obviously there was a lot of meditation throughout the day.
I just want to challenge myself.
You'd be surprised how you could do it. But again, I feel like you have to have some sort of inclination and calling to want to do it.
Okay, okay. Nice. Okay. What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from all the amazing things that you do professionally?
I feel like I've got a very strong gut instinct. So I'll make decisions that people often don't agree with or don't understand. And then
Mhm.
usually like fast forward, people will look back and be like, oh my gosh, there was like a red thread. We see how that, and so I learn, and I think the meditation helps with that. Like I've just learned to pick up on other cues when making things that I can't even describe it. It's like, when you pick up a menu at the restaurant and you read through things and something just stands out, like that's what I want to order. It's like, that's what happens to me in business. And I just get these, okay, well, that's what we have to do, even though it doesn't make sense and it's not logical.
Yeah.
Do it because I feel like we should do it. And thankfully, most of the time, it's the right decision. And
Yeah,
there's some
getting
wrong
those,
decisions, but you learn as you go through those too.
yeah, I was about to say getting those downloads from your
Yeah.
yeah, those divine messages. Okay. When is the last time you did something for the first time? Have you had any new experiences lately?
Yes, I just started. I've got a business coach who has not forced me, but encouraged me to start running as just a way to set harder goals and follow through and more physical stuff to ground into, just into my body and all of that. So I got the Strava app and I'm now like I've got running shoes and I get up and I just go for runs, which I was never a runner. I think high school, PE
I'm not a
class was the
runner.
last time that I ran and I had no desire. How some people are like, I want to do a marathon. I want to do that. I'm like, that does not interest me whatsoever at all. But now I run.
I am not a runner at all. Like, what was it? Maybe like 2 years ago, I had to do like a relay race or something like that. And
Yeah.
like on behalf of one of my cousins who was pregnant. I was like, why did y'all make me run this race?
Well, I mean, there's something to it though. Like they say that like that runner's high kicks in, and I've had it once since I've started doing it. But there is something pretty special when you're just like, oh wow, I can keep going. I'm like, what do you mean I can keep going? I should be exhausted right now. You just go.
Uh, Nice. Okay. Well, if you weren't the CEO of Verify Skin right now, is there anything else you could see yourself doing?
I think I would be doing something in like neuroscience. I'm fascinated with how the brain works and just how you can rewire thought patterns and behaviors. Um, and I think there's so much of that applies to that to mental health as well. So definitely something in the neuroscience space would be, that's what I geek out on. That's what like I wake up in the morning and I'll read stuff about that, or I'm listening to podcasts, or it's what yeah, what I spend my free time
I
doing.
like that. That's different. That's
Yeah.
different. Okay. Well, I want to jump into this chat because I'm just like really fascinated by all of the amazing things that you do. I know that you recently became the CEO of Verify Skincare. Like, what's one thing about being the CEO of a skincare brand that no one warned you about?
Oh my gosh, there's like from supply chain logistics, we get our glass from Korea and then there's issues with shipping and then we're Leaping Bunny certified, we're clean, we're vegan, we're all those things. So just making sure that your suppliers, your ingredients, if they're changing some of their practices, you have to stay on top of it and you're constantly looking like there's just a million things to consider when you're doing your own formulas. Like I think Sometimes people will get into skincare and they'll white label existing formulas and they make it more of a brand. But Verify is not that kind of skincare company. It's its own custom formulas. And so there's so many nuances to just making sure that it's at the level that it needs to be that I wasn't aware of stepping into it. And so I feel like I've got my MBA in global supply chain logistics.
Yeah, like knowing all of those things now, like how have you been adjusting to your new role?
I've just been asking a lot of questions. Thankfully, I've got access to a lot of smart people and mentors. And I feel like the whole industry is actually quite, at least what I found, like open. Like I talk with a lot of other beauty brand owners, and everyone shares resources. I'm part of this collective of independent beauty brand owners, and everyone's like, "Oh, we use this for this, or this person for that." Like everyone's so open, which I think. Makes it easier and just makes it more enjoyable because there's a big market there. There's a lot. It's a busy space,
Yeah.
um, but there's room for everyone. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, the community aspect of it. I love that people are sharing their
Yeah,
resources and not gatekeeping.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Was there a lot to change coming in as the CEO or any like major changes that need to be made?
Yeah, we did a big rebrand, just an elevation. So it's, we updated the logo, the packaging all changed. We got new glass suppliers. So there was just it was almost like a new brand within an existing brand. But I
Okay.
think that's good because it allows you to, breathe more life into it. And at one point there was going to be all these other SKUs added. And then it kind of went back to the principles of the brand of like less is more, right?
Yeah.
Like so many brands are peddling, 30, 40 different products, and you don't even know what works at that point or what's counteracting with each other. So we've really leaned into this less is more when the products are that effective. And we only have five products, and that's the way we're going to keep it because they really work. The only thing that we will add at some point is a sunscreen, because I think that's what we're missing. But aside from that, yeah, like your skin is very smart if you
Yeah.
give it the tools that it needs to regenerate itself. And I think sometimes what people don't realize is that by layering on multiple different products, different active ingredients, you're actually hampering your skin's ability to do what it can do best if it's just given the nutrients that it needs to do that. So that's how we pivoted the brand when I came on board, and so far really happy. Like that's also my philosophy for life is less is more. You can do a lot of things, but like you got to really laser in and focus on what works.
Yeah, hone in on that. You see these skincare routines that are like 20 steps sometimes. I love that you all just have five
Yeah.
products. Like, what do I do next? Like, if it's a 20-step process, like, why am I
Yeah.
spending a whole half an hour on my skincare routine?
And also like, is this active ingredient gonna cause a reaction with this active ingredient? Or this is so like it just, you just reduce chance of errors.
Yeah. How did the existing clients respond to the rebrand?
For the most part, everyone loved it. Like it was, again, just it made it more clean, more simple. And then there's and I get it. Like people are nostalgic. They're like, I really like the cursive of the handwriting of the logo, and why didn't we have that back? So, but it also made it little bit more not gender neutral, but Forbes had named it one of the top skincare line for men when we were geared towards women. And so we just needed to allow it to be, my brother, like he's like, I'd have it on my shelf if it wasn't in handwriting in this like flashy gold cap. I'm like, okay, noted.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
You know they're gonna use it anyway. If they're married or they got a
Oh yeah,
girlfriend, you
they
know
would
they're going
whatever. They're like,
regardless of the
ooh,
cursive.
yeah,
Regardless of the cursive writing, they're still in there sneaking our skincare
so
products
true.
anyway. Yeah. So how long was Verify Skincare, I guess, in business before you acquired it?
So it launched in 2019,
Okay.
just like going into COVID. So It was a unique time for it to launch, but it was, it was ahead of its time in the sense that it's, this science-backed skincare thing is now the latest rage, and they were always biotech. So the backstory behind Verify is these scientists discovered this super ingredient, which is a vegan form of glycogen, which has never existed before. Most glycogen comes from marine shellfish, and it's a vegan form of glycogen that comes from a non-GMO sweet corn. And why that's so important is that it has insane water retention properties. And so they discovered this ingredient, and these really smart women are like, we need to build a skincare line around this. And so Verify was born to help bring this ingredient to the market. And, it's since gone, it's like in food supplements, it's in different things, but it truly is hydration properties. Like that's what everyone notices once they start using it, especially people who have a little bit older skin where they lack moisture right away. Like people, we always say, we say 22 days on the website, but within like a few days, you can see a difference. And it all comes down to that biotech ingredient. So we were like one of the originator biotech skincare brands, but now it's a buzzword. But back then it was definitely ahead of its time.
Yeah, for sure. So where was the brand? I guess what piqued your interest in the brand initially to say that you wanted to take it over?
Uh, Using the products.
Oh,
So using the products, and then the biotech, because it was, this very heavy science company. They were doing a sale of the ingredient onto another company. And this brand was like gonna get lost. And I was like, this stuff is fantastic. And it's a Canadian, and I'm originally Canadian. So when I got put onto it and then spoke with the CEO, who was just wonderful at that time, and said, let's like this, I want to get this to more people. Like I believe, like I'm a huge believer in like inner confidence, outer confidence, but if you've got great skin, like you can do great things because you just have like a little bit more of a pep in your step, or a little bit more of that je ne sais quoi. And so I was just like, this is great. This is such an important brand. And, they were doing incredible scholarships to women entering STEM programs. And, it really is a wonderful, wonderful company and philosophy and all that. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. And yeah, it's been fun. It's again, one of those decisions that people are like, don't do it. It's not a good idea. I'm like, I'm going to do it.
you gotta do it anyway. You never know. You just never know unless you try, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you didn't acquire the company, then they would have went out of business.
Yeah, they were going to be just winding it down. So it was, I feel like I've been able to keep it alive and take the vision further. So it's been great. It's again, like our returning customer rate is so high. For beauty, I don't know where it is, somewhere in like the 20s, and we're like 48, 49% returning customer rate. Like once people use it, they notice a difference.
It's like staying loyal, like how men stay loyal to their barbers. You gotta stay
Yeah,
loyal to your skincare.
exactly. When you find something that works and it's simple, like don't mess with it.
Yeah, because we are in such a world now where it's just like information overload, product overload. So I feel like a lot of people are just trying different things and not necessarily like committing. But if they
Yeah,
commit to it, then you know you got something going on.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I know a lot of us wish that we could be in a position to acquire like our favorite company because I'm a makeup artist and we see our share of the brands like that we're loving and we have in our kits and now we can't buy the products anymore because the brand has gone under or maybe they discontinue something. Like I know a lot of us wish that we could just like snatch it up.
Yeah, and you know what I'd say to people who are looking at that is like, don't think things are unattainable because that world sounds so crazy. Like when companies are going bankrupt or winding down, like it doesn't all have to be these price tags that you're seeing for beauty brands, right? Like there's a lot of really, and you can work out different, again, it depends on the brand, it depends on the situation. But if you see something going out of business, like that's a good time to just reach out to the owner and be like, hey, like what could we do? Like I don't, and you never know. I always just say like the answer is always going to be no unless you ask.
Right. I like that. I like that because sometimes they do make announcements like, hey, this is going to be our last month and we got to get this inventory out of here. That could be the
Yeah.
perfect time to reach out.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly, exactly. And like I said, like the worst they can say is no, or it's too, but you never know if you don't ask.
Yeah, okay, okay. Learning from Lindsay. Ooh, learning from Lindsay. I like that. Learning from Lindsay. Okay, so I'm so silly. So I know you've led Jive PR and Digital for many, many years, and now of course you're overseeing Verify Skincare. Are there any core values and lessons that you carried over from that company, and then now owning this biotech skincare brand?
Yeah, I think it's the same philosophy that's like my life. It's just you need to enjoy every like we work for the majority of our waking hours, right? Like you're working. And so you got to enjoy what you do. Like you got to enjoy the people that you're with, you got to enjoy the customers that you're working with. You got to like so that philosophy has spread over into this and it's, you know, we surround our, you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with, that quote. And so I'd say that focusing on team, focusing on core values is everything. Like we hire against core values, we promote against core values, we make product decisions against core values, we make branding decisions against core values. So even in my life, like I now have like a set of personal core values and I'll look at things and be like, okay, this works, this doesn't. And I think that framework helped set me up for this. But like I said before, like it's still a completely different beast with supply chain logistics and all that other stuff. So it set me up to a certain point, but then there was another point where it was just it's learning everything all over again.
For sure. It's definitely a learning curve, stepping into like a new role like this, of course. I know you mentioned the Forbes recognition. You also had the CNET recognition as well, just being highlighted in major publications like that. Is there a moment that made you feel like this is exactly why I risked it? I know people told me not to go for it, but this is exactly why I knew this was a good idea.
You know, I mean, listen, the articles are great. Like CNET naming us one of the top 5 biotech skincare lines to watch it was huge. But honestly, I'd say the part that when you're asking the question of like what makes me like, oh, this is the reason is when like I get an unsolicited email from a customer that's just like, oh my gosh, like I tried this or a friend recommended it and I had rosacea or this or whatever their thing is. They're like, it really works. And like, we love that. Like, those are the things that you just light up inside. And like, and I have conversations with random people all the time. Like a customer message will come in and it'll get forwarded to me and then I'll email the person back and we'll like just chit chat about skincare and all that. Like those personal elements. And yeah, I think that's the part that juices me the most.
Yeah, I absolutely love the fact that you were a customer of the brand first. Like you saw the
Yeah.
results for yourself and you were just like so sold on just the message and the results of the brand and everything like that. And I know at one point you described a moment when like your skin being radiant led to like a deeper confidence and opened more doors. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but what did that look like for you? Like once you were feeling like really comfortable and confident in your skin and how that led to how you navigated the world and business and stuff like that.
Oh, I love this question. So like like those days where you just have like a good hair day or a bad hair day, or you're like look, you do your makeup and you're like, gosh, something just like looks a little, I don't know, a little different, like little zhuzh. Um, and that's what I was finding as I was using the product line. I was just like, God, and people were saying they're like, oh, your skin looks so good. Like I would just get compliments, and I was like, and it just, you self boost when you look and you're like, I look a little bit better. Then someone else recognizes it on you, and you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then all of a sudden, whether that's connected or not, like life just starts to like click a little bit more and things just start to happen, or you have a little bit more confidence. And so seeing that connection, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it creates the outer, which is like the science, and you're able to like, but the inner confidence as well, which is, you take care of the inner confidence. But if you can have a skincare line that helps fuel that, like the two just keep spiraling up. And I'm all about these like spiraling up moments. So that's why I think it's so important. And people can do like if you want to be confident and you're not out in the professional world, that's fine. But like whatever you're doing in life, that confidence just helps, you'll be nicer to people that you meet on the street, and you'll help someone else have a good day. Like, that butterfly effect, like you never know what something you do helps someone else. So, yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely being confident in your skin plays a major role. I was just teasing the other day too, because some of us struggle with creating content and stuff like that. But I made a joke online like getting cute is like half of the battle. Like once you like maybe do your skincare, do your makeup, or do your hair, and you feel like you feeling like, okay, I could be in front of the camera, it's like half the battle.
Completely, right? And when, the days of like when you're just like, gosh, it's like just not working, or like I'm just not there. And then, everything's a little bit more challenging. But then the days that you like got it and you've like, you won that battle, you're like, oh, I can't wait to do the content. Oh, that just this idea just came to me, or oh, like just things just start working out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I wanted to go back to the happy accident that happened in the lab when the
Yeah.
scientists discovered that ingredient. Um, like how did that, if you know, how did that shape the product development? I know that they had the light bulb go off and say, okay, we got to put this into skincare, but how does it in turn like shape the product development and then like telling the brand story and having people buy into the brand story to be a part of that to like purchase the product?
Yeah, great question. So, listen, the science behind the ingredient just worked. Like when they were doing different experiments, they noticed something in one of the beakers, and they're like, "Hey, that's it." And they tested the properties like this. We've discovered vegan glycogen, like never been done before. Like that was just a huge discovery moment for them. And then after that, so Jessica, who was one of the women who worked at this biotech skincare company, she was also a trained makeup artist. Like that's what she was by trade. And so she was also formulator and all of that. And so her and Allison were like, oh, you know what? We need to create skincare line around this. And so when Jessica was working on the formulations, she really used her makeup artistry background as well. Like, it needs to be able to layer properly. Like, moisture is like the number one thing that we're looking for behind this. And that really like just was the thread that connected this scientific discovery into creating a brand that's functional. You can trust the science, it's verified by science, and then here are all the things that a brand needs to stand for in addition to that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you all do clinical trials or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's clinical trials every 2 years they get redone and updated. And then there's also user trials for the different product lines as well. So it's both, and we're very rigorous on the science part. So everything is like third party, validated, tested. Yeah, and that's what I love. Like the science background behind it is like, of course it's going to be like it needs to have that rigor.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who she literally does not use any type of skincare that isn't clinically
Yeah,
tested. That's her thing. Like it has to be a clinical trial attached to it. She got to see the results, and then she'll use
absolutely.
it. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited about Verify. See if she knows about Verify Skincare because she knows
Yeah.
about all of the brands like more than I do.
Oh yeah, you got to get her some. Let me know.
For sure. What's the biggest myth that you come across in terms of building a skincare brand in a saturated, quote unquote, saturated market?
The biggest myth, is that what you said?
Hmm.
So I think it's like goes back to that when I was going to do it, everyone's like, don't do it, bad idea, da da da. I'm like, you know what? I think that was the experience of having the agency. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, don't get into the agent. There's a million different agents. I'm like, if you are really good at what you do, it doesn't matter that it's a crowded marketplace. If it's a big enough marketplace and you can carve out a small niche where you serve people exceptionally well, you'll do well. And I think like that myth of oh, it's too much, we can't get it, and that's a mindset, right? So if you have that mindset, then that's what's going to happen. And I think that the myth that you need to bust is like, don't give yourself shackles based on what people are saying or what sentiment is. And there's naysayers for everything, like, you know what I mean? Like absolutely everything. And so you gotta listen, you're gonna be smart. Like, do I recommend that people quit their job and invest their life savings into something that, no, don't do that. Like, trial it on the side. Um, but at some point, like if I listened to all the people who said things are bad ideas, I mean, I think I'd live in a bubble and I wouldn't leave the house.
You would never do anything because
No,
everything's a bad idea.
everything's a bad idea. Everything's bad for you. The world is always about to end.
Always. I'm like breathing the air outside with all the stuff that's floating around is a bad idea, but
Yeah, yeah,
gotta do it. We gotta do it anyway.
exactly.
Do you know if there's like a big price difference as far as investment goes in starting a brand between having like a traditional skincare brand versus a biotech or a science-backed skincare brand?
Yes, I think, listen, for us, we have everything's custom formulas, trialed, all that stuff. It's a very expensive, and we use very high-end ingredients. Like, when we were doing our manufacturing, my was like, you're the most expensive skincare line we've ever like seen. But our quality of ingredients are so important. And then we're like, but that's okay. That's our philosophy. Like, we want the best and we won't compromise. A lot of brands will start and they'll just do a white labeling of formulas, which is also fine because those formulas are proven and they've been, but then there's nothing unique necessarily about it except for the brand that's being built and the marketing versus the actual formulations. And that's what I think the difference is like if you're going to do your own formulations and all of that, it's going to be much more expensive to start it up and to maintain. If you're just going to white label and then make to order based on what you sell, you can start it up for a lot cheaper. I mean, marketing costs are still high, so it's not going to be nothing. But it is going to cut that R&D, the research and development budget down significantly.
Yeah, I learned so much too by talking to people on the podcast. I talked to someone recently. She's Canadian as well, but she has a brand called Cheekbone Beauty that is in like Sephora in Canada and stuff like that.
Oh,
And she
nice.
told me that originally, like when she started the brand and she went to Sephora to try to get into Sephora, they pushed her stuff, was like, we would never have private label stuff on our shelves. Like a lot of people start off with private label, of course, like you said, because it's more affordable. But if you want to go into like retail, sometimes they are looking for that point of difference, that uniqueness with the brand and the packaging and the ingredients and everything like that. I had no idea until she told me that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, it's like it's a whole other world.
Yeah.
And I think, all brands are like, everyone's got a different reason for doing different things. And I think that's fine. I think you just need to do what feels right for you and what you want to do. I don't have anything wrong with these private label, white label brands if they're using like tried and true formulas and they just want to have the brand side of it. But I think the consumer is getting a little bit more discerning, and they don't want to be overpaying for something that they could. It's like you go into Whole Foods or
Yeah.
Bonds or Costco, and the Kirkland brand is probably better than a lot of the other brands because of what they're doing, but they're just not paying all in the marketing cost of it. So there's a lot of value in that as well. So I think it's just, the consumer just needs to be a little bit more discerning to see what it is that they want.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Earlier you mentioned the what is it? Like the tariffs or the supply chain. The supply chain like disruptions and everything like that with getting the bottles from Korea and stuff. Are there any other challenges that are similar that you had to
Oh,
overcome?
oh
Like
my
with
God. I mean,
like this
this
supply chain
tariff,
disruption?
it's like, and the threat of like tariffs. I mean, we manufacture in Canada and then we distribute all over the US as well. And so in January, we didn't know what was going to happen. So we just started moving pallets and pallets down to our US warehouse that we didn't need to be sitting here. And we like opened up a new warehouse and it was just, and you had to do all these gambles because you just didn't know what was going to happen. And then it's ping pong, like no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs, tariff. Like it just, yeah, it's you gotta have like mental toughness
Yeah,
to
for
make it
sure.
in this space.
Yeah, this is scary, scary times that we live in. We just like so much uncertainty, especially for like the business owners who are getting their stuff from overseas. I don't know why I don't always consider Canada like overseas. I know it's a different country, but I guess because we're so close.
We're so close, and that was the hard part because you just, there's never been, we've had NAFTA or version of in the past, so there's been like, duty free, like it's been fine, and then you just didn't know what was going to happen. I think well, for sure, it was the uncertainty was the hardest part, is then you're trying to build out budgeting and you have no idea what you're planning for. So yeah, that was tough. I have a friend who is a different business, not in skincare, and they were shipping their products over, and they were already on the container ship, and then they landed and they got, I mean, I can't remember, like 100 and something percent tax. Like it just, they had and they just like
Send it back, return to sender.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It was, it was crippled some companies. So that's
Wow.
the unknown. And I guess like, but that's all business. It's not going to be that, it's going to be something else. Or, like the only thing you can expect is that things are always going to not go according to plan. But I think that's also the fun of it too, right? Like if things don't go to plan, you're like, okay, like if everything just went the same way every time, you'd be like, it's boring. Like you need those challenges. Now you don't need insane challenges, like little challenges are nice, but that's part of it, being in business.
Yeah, so as a CEO, do you have like a point A, not a point A, was it plan A, a plan B for like if this happens, then this, and if this happens, then that? Like, how do you like
For,
just keep the
yeah, and then you're kind of making up plan A and plan B, like on the go every day based on what's going on. But we have a strategy, and we build to that strategy, and then every couple months you look at it and you're like, okay, well that's not happening anymore. And then you adjust. But I think you always need to have contingencies. And you just need to like look for solutions that you wouldn't think are normal. Like, I always, that's been the most interesting thing. Like sometimes like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do about this distribution thing? And then a friend of a friend at like a family event goes, oh, I know someone who has this 3PL in North Carolina. Like you should talk to them. And I was like, and you talk, and something works out. So you just never know where your solution is going to come from.
you just never know. And I think that's the importance of relationships too, because you
100%.
just never know who people know who could help you out and put you in position for something.
Exactly.
Yeah. How did you go about managing the just like the inevitable doubt that comes across when we're trying something new, the imposter syndrome and everything? I know you tapped into like this regret minimization thing, but I want you to explain it and like how it's helped you with that process.
Okay, so the regret minimalization technique, that's the framework that I use when deciding to like do verify or not. And so I can't remember if he coined it or used it, but it was like Jeff Bezos originated something
Mhm.
along the line. Like you look at a decision, and with the regret of not doing it outweigh the regret of doing it, right? So it's like it's like a way of taking calculated risks. And I've thought to myself, I'm like, if I didn't do this because I'm fearful of this, like I probably always regret, like, what if I tried it and so what if it fails? But what if I tried it and it worked? And using that regret minimization framework to make major life decisions.
Yeah.
It's a cool filter to just even like little things like, should I go on this trip? Should I not go on this trip? And you kind of like, you make decisions based on that. And I think it allows you to look at things from a different perspective versus just an immediate reaction of like, no, I'm not going to do that. Because like, what's telling you not to do that? Is that actual, or is that some like past fear response being triggered? And so then you just follow your initial reaction versus challenging it a little bit, looking into it.
Yeah, I feel like every answer from you, like, just do it. Like, have you ever used that framework and it's like, okay,
Oh yeah, and not
go
done it.
do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
'Cause I
yeah.
feel like everything I think about, I'm like, just do it. Like, you won't regret it. I'll be saying yes to everything.
But then there's like certain things where you're just like, I want to say yes, but like really down there. And as I'm getting older too, it's like one of those things where I'm just like, do I really need to go out and do it? No, 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 I'm just gonna go home.
I'm gonna start using that. I think that would help me a lot actually because I am the type of person that like if it's within my capacity, like I feel like I not have to say yes, but it's hard for me to say no if I
Yeah.
know that I can really, really do it. So I think for me, I could probably use it when it comes to people asking me to do things like, am I gonna regret doing this or am I not? More
Or
so
and
you
it
will
just
regret doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And it just gives you a moment to take a pause and be like, do I really want to do this? Or am I just like conditioned to say yes because I know I can do it? And
Right.
that has been interesting for my growth anyways, of where I over say yes because I can totally handle it and I can do it, but doesn't mean that I should be doing it. So
Right.
yeah, it's been good.
Overextending ourselves to
Yeah.
a point. Hmm, for sure. So now, okay, so you're an investor and you're a CEO. Are there any key indicators or metrics that excite you when like evaluating a brand or a beauty company or anything like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, so my background is that I have the agency. I've also invested in, been lucky to invest in a lot of different startups over the years. Um, Not all in the health and beauty space, some in the tech space, some in the entertainment space. Um, but the key indicators is, again, going back to that, like when you know, like it's like a bit of a gut,
Yeah.
does this feel right? Um, and if it feels wrong right away, like I don't usually look at things further, but if it feels right, then I'll still look at things further. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I still will do the needed due diligence and stuff like that. But the key indicators is like, what a lot of investors will say is the team, like who are the people behind it? Because those people's energy and everything is going to be infused into the product, the business, whatever it is. So the people behind it is key. And then what is the differentiator and what is the plan and what's the need in the market? And it's very easy to, not easy, but it's easier to invest in a business that's understandable. Like that, like, okay, skincare line, get it, understand the market, do that. When you're investing in a company that's creating a new category, like that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And but you kind of get a gut read for it. And for the people, I've invested in this company called Othership, and they're very cool. They're ahead of their time, and they were creating a category of almost like Soul Cycle, but for like hot bath, hot and cold plunges, breath work
Wow.
in a physical environment. And they were taking a model and applying it to a totally new category. But there was no other players in the space at the time that they were starting up. But like as I was talking to the founder and I was listening to them, like this just feels right. And like they're gonna lead this new category that's being invented, and they're gonna and so and I invested in them in like COVID. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like people weren't in real life, but I knew that it was as we turn back on into the like people were going to crave that in real life connection, and they've done amazing, right? And they were a leader in that category. So those are kind of the key indicators that you need to look at. Now, listen, I make very different business investment decisions than like someone who's in private equity or venture capital. Like they're doing their due diligence and they've got accountants and lawyers and stuff. Like I am like little old me with a little bit of a honing device that I'm just like, okay, that sounds good. Let's look into it a little bit more. Okay, let's do it. So I definitely have a very different approach.
Yeah, that's good. Just in case anybody's listening who wants to, go after that one day, they kind of know what to look after.
Yeah.
Um, are there any mistakes that you see indie founders making when they're pitching to investors?
I think not being realistic on like, listen, you want founders to have a focused vision and all that, but you want them to be, you can't be like, we serve everyone or
Mm,
we have no competitor. Like you do. Like it doesn't matter what you do, you do. And
yeah.
so you want them to have like optimism and vision, but you want them to have some reality and awareness as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that is a key thing that you look for. And you also just want some of that that je ne sais quoi, like you just
Yeah,
like
you got that
that
it factor.
belief they've just got that like they're gonna do it. You know, like this other ship company I was talking about, when I met the founder, I'm like, it doesn't matter what he does, he's gonna do it. Like he is just that mindset, that man, like that is he will do whatever he says he's gonna do. Um, and I think that those are the exciting ones to get behind. And you know, for people who are looking to invest, I always say invest with smarter people than you, right? So invest alongside someone that you know who makes good decisions or knows things. And, you know, like I remember one of my first investments, I didn't even know anything about the company. I didn't know anything about investing. And one of my friends was just like, I'm investing in this company. You should too. And I didn't know a thing about the company, but I knew her and her track record and what she did. And I was like, okay. And so and that's why, you know, a lot of um, investors will see like who's leading around, right? Like, is it a smart venture company that's leading around, or private equity company that's leading around? And if it is, then it's easier to get other checks once you have a strong lead in.
Yeah, follow the leader.
Yeah.
They know more. So as an investor, like what exactly does that look like? Like do you have to have like $10,000, 50,000? Like what does it look
You
like?
know, you can do, I mean, you can do micro investments, right? Like, so there's a great platform called Angel List that you can look at, and some people, you can do like a few $100 investments, or even like Kickstarter is technically an investment, right? It's more so like to get something to like help something launch, but you don't have to have a lot of money, and especially at the friends and family in the seed round. Like those are the, you know, those are the riskiest ones that you're doing as well. When you're investing at something at an angel or friends and family or at seed round, it's called, because they
Mhm.
don't have proven market fit yet.
Yeah.
But it's usually like you don't have to put up as much either. And then when you're getting into later stage, you know, Series A, Series B, they've got product market fit, they've got traction, they've got revenue. That's when, yeah, you're going to have to write a much more sizable check to get into that. But even then, like if you go in with a group, like a syndicate, like you can maybe put in 10,000 with about 10 other people, and then you go in together at 100,000 in those later rounds. So that's a way to give yourself access as well.
Got you. And then do you get like equity in the company or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And then you get equity, and, um, you know, like the smart thing to say is that like you need to pretend that you're never going to get your money back. Like it needs to be like that extra thing that you do.
Mhm.
And I think that everyone should have some sort of diversification in their investment strategy. So it's, you know, it's fun to support, again, founders and brands that you believe in. You can do it in the public markets through the stock, picking a stock, or
Mhm.
you do it in private markets, which is a little bit more riskier, but a lot more reward when it works out. And if you go alongside smart people, you're not, you know, I would say that's what I'd say. I would say find smart people that are doing it and go along with them if you believe in it.
Yeah, for sure. As an investor, like what are your thoughts on acquisition? Because it's a known thing like in the African American community, if there's like a black founder that gets acquired by a company that is not like black or yeah, black founded, there's like an uproar. There's like, oh, this person sold out. Like they're going to change the formula when they sell it to this company. But as an investor or someone who acquires companies, like what is your thought process on like your intention behind acquiring a brand and like what you want to see happen for that brand?
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to look at it. So on the verify side, like we didn't change the formula. Like I'd go into that knowing it was a incredible formulation. It was an incredible brand already. Like we just made some tweaks that the brand probably would have made itself anyways because it needed to modernize and all of that. So we didn't go in and disrupt anything in that. Um, you know, some to your point, if someone's selling to another company and everyone's like, oh, that you sold out, maybe they did, right? But that was their goal. They wanted to exit or they got tired of it. And or they'll go into a company and they'll still be able to run it on itself, but they get more access to more resources in order to grow it and help more people. So it just depends on like all acquisitions aren't the same. But I always say to founders, like, I've sold one of my companies before, and I was like so excited to sell, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've done it. And then I was depressed afterwards. Like, it was just like, you were like talking about like, your COVID baby podcast. Like all of a sudden you don't have this baby that you've just poured endless hours into, and you're not making the decisions. And there's a real psychological impact to that. So I always say just every founder needs therapy.
Okay, we do.
That's like my rule of thumb. But you just, you need to know the reasons why you're selling. And if you take on private equity, you're going to have to sell, because the goal of private equity is that they're coming in for like 5 to 10 years, usually 7 years, and then they want an exit. So if you're taking on capital as a founder, like you don't just take on capital and sit on it forever. Like some companies do, but most of them don't. They want an exit. And doesn't mean the company will continue on, but it'll go and evolve into a different form.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, because I think I keep telling people there needs to be like a larger conversation that happens between like the consumer to understand what acquisition like really means, and how it helps in a sense, like if they're not changing the formulas and stuff, and how it
Yeah,
kind of helps them, because like you mentioned earlier with Verify, if you hadn't stepped in, then your favorite brand would have went under and you wouldn't have it at all. So it's like
exactly.
you have
And
to
and
keep
or
this
the
brand
like
afloat.
yeah, exactly. Or you get access to greater resources, and then you can go on to impact more people,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it's not a one size fits all, but I do agree with you. There needs to be a lot more conversation that happens around it, because I think everyone hears the word acquisition and they're like,
It's scary.
it's, in some ways, but no, acquisition means that they can do more, or they can survive, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Why do you think that women in STEM bees are like the future of beauty?
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm not discriminating against men, because men are amazing too. And the whole male skincare market's taking off right now. But like, there's just something like built in, like as me, like I've been obsessed with skincare for, I think I was like 10. My mom said she remembers me like coming in, like putting creams on all the time. Like I was just always into it. And so for women to get in, like how cool to be able to develop products that just make you feel good, or that accentuate yourself. And they're just, I think as women are learning more and more about, going into science doesn't mean you have to sit, and just be doing like chemistry for some board. Like you're
Yeah.
creating products that are going to change people's lives. That's awesome. Like it's great. And listen, I think women are damn smart. Like I think you get a woman into somewhere, and they are going to give it their all, and they are going to go deep into it and think about it in different ways. And yeah, I mean, I just, on the agency side, we're a full female team, and we love our men too, but like the the women just have a different level of capacity to handle more things. And in the communications world, that's what you need, right? Again, so they are just wired and programmed to do that. And I think more and more women are exploring STEM fields and business fields. And the world's going to change. Like you're going to fast forward 50 years, people are going to look back and be like, you know, how are women not working? Like
Yeah.
how is that even a thing? Like these, like they're like the driving force of everything. So we're in the middle of this pendulum flip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love seeing all of the support that is rallied around like the youth getting into STEM and just
Yeah.
keeping their interest there, because just a lot is we're always drawn to different things, like, especially in this world that we're in now with social media. I think most of the kids just want to be influencers. Like they don't even know anything about STEM. So those who are interested in exploring something different, I just love seeing programs rally around them like that and just open their eyes to the possibilities of
Yeah.
what they can do in this business.
Yeah. And it's, you can be into beauty and then find this love of science,
Yeah.
or a business, and I think it's really important. You don't have to be doing your passion all the time, every time, but like to have that level of fulfillment, you got to be doing something that's interesting to you, right? Something that piques your curiosity. So yeah, we loved that we give scholarships every year to women entering STEM and business programs. And we love it, and just seeing the impact that that has.
You're a part of someone else's legacy and journey
Yeah.
to step out and create more products that, are going to change the world and change people's confidence and, all of those things.
I'm so excited to see what, like, the kids today are so smart. Like I am, and with the level of technology they have access to, like, I'm so excited to see the things that are going to be developed in the next 5, 10, 20 years. Like, it's going to be incredible.
And now we have AI and all these other
Yeah.
things coming out. It's gonna be interesting. So, Lindsay, how do you personally, I know you do meditation, but how else are you intentional about just having that time for yourself? I know you do a lot of different things, so you have family, friends, and everything, but you're juggling so much, but how do you intentionally just make that time for yourself?
I am ruthless about like being present in whatever I'm doing. So I've got a son, he's 7, and like I just when I'm with him, like I'm with him. And I'm like 100% there. And then when I'm somewhere else, I focus on like being there 100%. And then so by doing, and I think meditation enables me to do that because it gives me a different level of focus that maybe I wouldn't have if I didn't. But I honestly feel that presence helps you be more effective. Now, you can't just be like present staring at a flower for, 3 hours a day and think that your to-do list is somehow magically going to get done. But it's like this just ruthless prioritization and then presence for what you're in. Like if you're scattered and doing 50, and I'm guilty of it sometimes, like I'm replying to an email and then I'm like texting someone here and I'm doing, and then I've forgotten what I'm doing. So it's just, like we're human. But if you can try and pull yourself back to be wherever you are, somehow things just start to work. And plus, like, especially if you have kids, like you want to be part of their life. Like you don't want them remembering you like mommy was always on her phone.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time and place for everything. So when I'm around and with him after school, like I'm with him. And then when he goes to bed, like I am back into my work and doing those things. Or if I'm in my morning meditation, I'm in my morning meditation. I'm trying not to like, I try to be wherever I am.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think meditation, I don't know why I'm staggering like that. Get it together. Okay, period. Okay. I was like, I don't know why my screen is doing that, but I know meditation definitely helped me with the refocusing because just how you have to refocus in meditation when your brain kind of starts to wander. That's what I started to apply it to my life and I saw such a difference because I was the person that was just like so like things had to go like this or it was like all hell was going to break loose.
Yeah.
But when I started doing meditation on a continuous basis, I was able to surrender and like just let things unfold and refocus if I got distracted. It really, really helped a lot once I started implementing it into my life.
It's so true. And like, didn't you find like there was just like somehow, like without even you thinking about it, like things just started to improve? Like that's the crazy part. You're like, I didn't
Yes.
even try to do that. And that worked.
It
Yeah.
really does. It's fascinating. I love it here. Yeah, so what do you want your legacy to be with Verified Skincare? Have you thought about that?
I mean, like I would love that. I feel like, like we like infuse the products with our energy too, right? So it's like, I just want people to be able to like go within and feel confident without like that. Like inner confidence is outer confidence. And so you can trust the science, but if we can give people something that just makes them take a moment and reflect and be like, hey, this isn't just another skincare line. Like there's a lot of intention behind this. And it's science backed, it's clinically trialed, it's smart, but it's focusing on like elevating me as a human or trying to get me to be the best I can be. Like that's what I want. And that less is more philosophy is what the legacy I want to leave. Like we don't need a million different things. We just need to have a few, have them work, and then be able to do that, apply that philosophy to the rest of our lives.
Yes, less is more. I love it. I love that. Is there anything that's coming up next for you or Verify Skincare that you can share?
We do have a big retail partnership that's going to be announced later this year, and so that's exciting. But I can't talk about it just yet. But yeah, so once that comes out, that'll be really good, and yeah, just continuing to drive into the community and build the brand.
Yeah, I know retail is another beast,
Oh my gosh.
another learning curve,
Yeah,
another
right.
lesson. It just keeps going on and on and on. That's so cool. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep my ear to the streets so I can see who y'all partner with.
Yeah.
Well, before I let you go, I have to ask you the Friends of Beauty rapid fire questions.
Perfect.
So whatever comes to your mind, you can spit it out, or if you need to elaborate, that's fine. That's totally fine. The first one is, what are the top three keys to your success so far?
Oh, meditation, mindset, and optimism.
Meditation, mindset, and optimism. How do you measure your success?
How do I measure my success? Like, would older me be proud of current me? Like, if
Mm,
I fast forwarded 10 or 20 years, would she look down and being like, yeah, your priorities are straight?
I like that. Okay. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Uh, Nothing's a problem. It's your perception of the situation. So there's a much more eloquent way of saying it, but I don't know what it is. But it's just like things aren't bad. It's your perception of them and your ability to change your perception that makes it what it is.
I like that. Okay. What advice would you give to another skincare brand owner, CEO, who was just like, oh, this is just so difficult. I did not see all of this, what it is going to entail. And I had to give it up. I just can't do it anymore.
Going back to the moment of what made you do it in the first place, like revisit the why. Like, why did you walk into, and they say in relationships, like go back to why you walked in the door before you walk out the door. Like, what is it that made you do it in the first place? And have you changed? And sometimes people have changed and they have different priorities. And then that's okay. It's, and like there's also this like sunken cost fallacy that people like, I've invested so much into it, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. And it destroys themselves and their lives. So I think both aspects, like don't do something for too long if it's hurting you mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, but also don't give up too soon because things are hard, because sometimes things are hard right before they break through. So if you can go back to that moment of what made you do it in the first place, and that's strong enough to still get you through where you're at, like you'll get through it and you'll look back and be like, God, thank God I didn't give up.
Yeah, love it. Okay. What's a resource that helps you in your business that you can share with the friends and beauty community?
um, Resource that helps me in my business. I mean, I do a lot of online courses, but those are my like Mind Valley is a great like online mindset course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would say communities like, excuse me, I belong to this Power Beauty collective, and it's a whole bunch of independent beauty brands that come together, and we have like a monthly call. We talk about whether it's email marketing or this or that, and that's been great. Everyone gives resources and tips. So find a community of like-minded people, and tap into them.
Nice, nice. Okay. And so the last one is just a statement that I want you to repeat and say, my name is blank. And the
My
key
name,
to longevity and success is blank.
my name is Lindsay Nahmiache, and the key to longevity and success is mindset.
Mindset. I don't have I heard that one? I have to go back. I don't know if anyone's ever said mindset before. It's so well, it probably have, but I haven't heard that one in a while. Mindset. I love that. Okay.
My grandmother is 98 and she's got like the strongest mindset of anyone I know. And you like talk to her and she like doesn't know she's 98. She's like, I'm going here, I'm doing this, we're going here. And like she's just in her mind, she's, 20, 30 years younger. And I think that's what keeps her young.
I love that. God bless her. Well, before you go, please share any social media, website, however you want people to connect with you, connect with the brand, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, Verify Skincare, but it's spelled Veriphy. Skincare, that's our handles, that's our website. If you send an email to the website, it comes to me. So I get to see everything. So yeah, please get in touch.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lindsay. This was such a great conversation. I learned so much, and I'm so appreciative that I met you and for your time. And I look forward to seeing all the wonderful things you do with your new venture.
Aw, thank you. You've got such a great energy to you. You really do. It radiates through the screen. I feel like warm and fuzzy inside. So thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, #Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.